There's still one word that brings all the fun together. Blockbuster. One word.
The best prices in the valley on Mazdas just got better because of the recent hailstorm. The Brooke Ogden Mazda store in Mission is offering great savings on over 100 brand new Mazda cars and trucks. Save thousands of dollars on Mazda 626s, Proteges, trucks, and more. We guarantee the savings will never be better. Over 100 vehicles have been discounted to the absolute lowest prices ever. If you've been waiting to buy a new Mazda, don't miss this great opportunity. Only at Brooke Ogden Mazda, Mission.
Weather School is made possible by Lee's, your neighborhood pharmacy with 2 locations in North and South McAllen.
Now, Chief Forecaster Tim Smith with Eyewitness News First Warn Weather.
Good afternoon, folks, from the terrace where it's been a little bit warm. Temperatures climbing to over 90 in the shade. In the sun, my thermometer says it's 115, but that's just the temperature of the thermometer itself, not the temperature of the air, although it feels a little toasty. Here's a look at current temperatures across South Texas at news time, and you'll see that it's still rather warm. 88 McAllen, 86 Harlingen, 87 in Brownsville at this hour. All over deep South Texas, it's warm, but in a second, when I show you the temperatures across the rest of the state, you'll see that there is indeed a big change coming. Take a look at all the clouds and, boy, big thunderstorms in the Panhandle last night, moving across Oklahoma and North Texas, and now they're into southeast Texas, where there are all kinds of weather watches and warnings and flood watches and warnings in effect for the extreme southeastern part of the state. And you see high clouds moving across our area. Well, first warn Doppler picks up lots of rain in the eastern part of the state this afternoon, all the way over to the Florida Panhandle. That's all moving eastward. It's all lined up along a front that's due in the valley early tomorrow morning. Now, take a look at temperatures around the state of Texas. It is right now 29 in Amarillo. Austin is only 54. San Antonio is 64. You can tell where the front is, and the front's due through the valley in the morning. There it is on the weather map. It's going to continue to push toward the south, moving through here again in the morning. Could be a shower, maybe a thunderstorm with the front, and then all day tomorrow temperatures will likely just fall. We'll start in the low 70s and then cool into the upper 50s by the end of the day tomorrow. As far as traveling, take a look. Temperatures in the 30s and 20s across North Texas tomorrow, or for tonight rather, then highs tomorrow. Not much warmer than the 30s up north. We will be back in the low 70s, but then falling into the 50s by the end of the day. Sunday, by the way, cloudy, windy, a high of 60. So here's your forecast for tonight for the valley. More clouds with the front moving in later on. Your lows will be, for the most part, in the 60s. Then for tomorrow, cloudy and much cooler. Your high temperatures, again, will fall through the 60s and into the upper 50s. Okay, here's your weather school question for today.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Gonzalez. It does not rain during a tornado. True or false?
A simple true-false question, Peter. We'll have the answer for you coming up at 6 o'clock. We'll see you then.
Oh, simple question, Tim. Well, I've got a question for you. How do you wash an elephant? Very carefully, of course. And what better place to hose a pachyderm down than at a car wash? Elephants usually bathe in rivers and streams, but this lucky lady in Cape Town, South Africa, got the high-pressure treatment one can find only at a car wash. After being temporarily distracted by a tasty tree, baby seemed to enjoy her experience. She even lifted her feet so her handler could get to those hard-to-reach places. I wonder how much they had to pay to wash their elephant. Let's go out to the terrace now. Carrie Zayas has some guests in our Pets of the Week. Carrie?
Pete, we have some guests here from the Lower Valley Humane Society. This is Casey that I have in my hand. She is so adorable. And you have Seth with you. And William, you want to tell us a little bit about each of these pets?
Casey is 7 weeks old, and Seth is 7 weeks old too.
And both up for adoption. And how much are they?
And cats are $51.50 and dogs are $69.
You know, William always comes. He's our spokesperson here. But we have a couple of things. Of course, these are two of the beautiful pets that they have at the shelter that need to be adopted. They're looking for homes, and they could be yours, and the phone number should be on your screen. But we also want to tell you about Be Kind Animals Week coming up. That's May 4th through May 10th. Am I right? And you were telling me that Father Nicolau is going to be blessing the animals on the 4th. You can call the Lower Valley Humane Society for more details about that. And the phone numbers are there for these two pets. Thanks so much, guys. The Lower Valley Humane Society is located right next to the Howard Johnson in the Sanborn Travel Building. There she goes. I mean, he goes. Seth is going crazy. And this little girl's just been sitting here so sweet. They need homes. We also want to tell you about a dog that is lost. And we don't do this very often, but this is a special case. A $100 reward is being offered for the return of a lost Siberian Husky. We want to tell you because this dog is taking medication, and he's a black and white dog. He was last seen at H-E-B in Mercedes. If you have any information, please call Rex Owens at 565-4054. Now, Pete, back to you. I'm going to start here with the puppies out here on the terrace.
All right, thanks, Gary. We'll keep it right here. And
Pets of the Week, and they're from the Lower Valley Humane Society, and you know where that is. It's in Brownsville, right off the expressway. It's next to the Howard Johnson in the Sanborn Travel Office. And would you look at these two guys that we have with us today? They're beautiful. Tell me about them, Gail.
This is Oscar, and we believe that he's got a lot of Airedale in him. He's very, very friendly. He's a pup. He's less than a year old, and he's just very outgoing, very friendly. He'd be wonderful with children, and he's ready for a home.
Oh, he has beautiful eyes, and he has soft fur. Now, tell me about this one over here.
Sissy, we believe, is a little bit more of a Labrador. She's got a wonderful coat, bristly, water dog kind of a coat, her little Labrador tail. She's probably about 2 years old, and she, too, is a very calm, well-behaved dog. She's a little more shy than Oscar.
She is shy. She's beautiful, though.
But she's a sweetie, very well-behaved.
Now, tell me some of the things that the Lower Valley Humane Society is working on right now, because you have a lot coming up this month in May.
Yes, and May the 10th, we're going to be wrapping up what is considered Adoption Day Became to Animals Week. It starts on May 3rd. On May 10th, we're going to have a special promotion going on at the shelter. Going to invite people to come over for lemonade and cookies and to see all the wonderful pets that we have for adoption.
And they have such beautiful animals at the shelter for adoption right now. What else are you doing?
Later in the month, we're going to have a dog wash on May 24th, and some of the students from one of our high school ROTC programs is going to help us by washing the animals, and it's going to be a $3 donation to have your dog all spruced up and to make him feel part of the family and ready for summer, and it just helps us earn funds for the facility.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. The phone number is on your screen, or was on your screen. There it is, 544-0414. Please go by if you're looking for a pet. The shelter has so many available. We also want to tell you the weekend is almost here. It's Friday, so we want to check in with our Stacey Bryant.
Again. Our two precious pets of the week, kitties from the Lower Valley Humane Society. That is right off the expressway in Brownsville in the Sanborn's Travel Building right next to the Howard Johnson. We do want to tell you, though, about a couple of things coming up, too. This Sunday on May 4th, I think is wonderful. We have the Blessings of the Animals, and that's going to be at 4:30 at the Lower Valley Humane Society. There's a phone number there. Also, on Saturday, May 10th, is VIP Adoption Day for the pets, also at the Humane Society. And then you have a car wash coming up on the 24th at Sam's, right, in Brownsville. These are our pets of the week. We want them to find some good homes. Thanks to you guys so much for being with us, and as always, we thank you. Have a great weekend.
Closed captioning brought to you by KRGV TV.
Tell me who you brought with you today.
Today we brought JP and Maverick, and they were really brave little guys and came through the bad weather because they wanted to be sure and invite everybody to come to Brownsville tomorrow to the Lower Valley Humane Society between 10 and 2. We're going to be having Pet Adoption Day, and they and all their friends are real eager for everybody to come. And also on May 24th, we're going to host a dog wash at Sam's Wholesale, and it's $3 donation. You can have your dog washed in a nice flea bath by the students from Hannah's ROTC.
Very nice. And you can see our pets of the week got all dressed up this week.
Yes, they did.
They are looking for homes, and we hope that they find some.
I love Maverick's feet.
Yeah, it looks like he has little socks. I don't know if you can see this, but yes, both of them are precious. And I was just there last weekend for the Blessing of the Animals, and I know you have a lot of pets available for adoption. The phone number is on the screen, 544-0414. And the Humane Society the shelter's located right off the expressway in Brownsville, right next to the Howard Johnson, in the Sanborn Travel Building. Right. You may not think it's in there, but it is in there. Just go right behind and you'll see them. Thanks so much for being with us, and we hope that these handsome guys find homes. Thanks a lot. And we're going to be right back with entertainment news, so don't go away.
Talk show host Jerry Springer calls it quits. We'll fill you in on that when we come back.
Place where city government meets in Texas, and that is here in Brownsville in this city hall. What we're about to take place.
Systematic persecution and annihilation of European Jewry by Nazi Germany and its collaborators between 1933 and 1945. Jews were the primary victims. 6 million were murdered. Gypsies, the handicapped, and Poles were also targeted for destruction and decimation for racial, ethnic, or national reasons. Millions more, including homosexuals, Jehovah's Witnesses, Soviet prisoners of war, and political dissidents, also suffered grievous oppression and death under Nazi tyranny. And whereas the United States became the homeland to many thousands of Holocaust survivors who, having deep appreciation for the freedom and opportunities afforded by this nation, greatly contributed to the culture and strength of their adopted homeland. And whereas we, the people of the city of Brownsville, should always remember the terrible events of the Holocaust and should remain vigilant against bigotry and tyranny. And whereas we, the people of the city of Brownsville, should continually rededicate ourselves to the principles of equality and justice for all. And whereas the days of remembrance have been set aside for the people of the city of Brownsville to remember the inhumanity of those who perpetrated the Holocaust, as well as to reflect upon our own humanity and the need for respect of all peoples. And whereas, pursuant to an act of Congress, Public Law 96-388, dated October 7, 1980, the United States Holocaust Memorial Council designates the days of remembrance of the victims of the Holocaust as May 4th through May 10th, 1997, including the International Day of Remembrance known as Yom HaShoah, May 4th. Now, therefore, we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, do hereby designate May 4th through May 10th, 1997, as the days of remembrance of the Holocaust in the City of Brownsville, in memory of the victims, survivors, and their liberators, in hope that we, as a city and as individual citizens, will strive to overcome prejudice, hatred, and indifference through learning, tolerance, and remembrance. In witness whereof, we have hereby set our hands and caused the seal of the City of Brownsville to be affixed this, the 6th day of May, 1997.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioners. Anything to the Sister of our bench. Item number 9.
Presentation of a proclamation designating the week of May 4th through May 10th, 1997 as Be Kind to Animals Week in the City of Brownsville.
Mary, please. The whole all the troops that you brought with you? All the young ladies. Please face the camera. A young man also. Please read the proclamation.
Whereas we have been endowed not only with blessings and benefits of our animal friends, who give us companionship and great pleasure in our daily lives, but also with the firm responsibility to protect these fellow creatures with whom we share the earth from need, pain, fear, and suffering. And whereas we recognize that instilling attitudes of kindness, consideration, and respect for all living things through humane education in the schools and the community helps to provide the basic values on which a humane and civilized society is built. And whereas the people in this community are deeply indebted to their animal care and control agencies for their valuable contribution in caring for lost and unwanted animals and promoting a true working spirit of kindness and consideration for animals in the minds and hearts of all people. And whereas the first full week of May has been set as the annual celebration of the National Week observing the philosophy of kindness to animals for the 81st year. Now therefore we, the members of the City Commission of the City of Brownsville, Texas, by virtue of the authority vested by the Charter of said city, on behalf of all citizens, do hereby designate May 4th through May 10th, 1997 as Be Kind to Animals Week in the City of Brownsville, and urge all citizens to fully participate in all the related events. Done on this, the 6th day of May, 1997.
I would like to say thank you to our commission for recognizing this, and I would also like to recognize 2 of our junior volunteers. The purpose of our organization, one of them, is to make Brownsville a kinder and more humane community for our youngsters and for our families. And these two are just, we're just very, very proud of these two young people. They have been working with us. William Van Coppenol, he's a student at Hannah High School, and he's been working as a very faithful volunteer for almost a year now. William does volunteer work in the shelter every week. He's on television at least every other week with our Dr. Pet on Channel 5. And Michelle Ramirez has been with us probably about 6 months, something like that. And Michelle is a student at Russell Elementary School. And we're just so proud of these two, and we would like to make them examples for others to come out and work with us and learn to take care of our animal friends. In appreciation for these two, I would like to present them with a 1997 Be Kind to Animals Kids certificate. This is for William. And this is for Michelle.
Item 10.
Consideration and action in support of the 1998 Border.
And all that adoration leads to crazed promotional appearances and photo shoots for the likes of 17 magazine.
Go, Doug, with the energy, Doug, with the energy. Ah! Doug!
Stop screaming! You should have a TV show!
Photographer, dude.
And while people are ready to pigeonhole Hanson as a Partridge Family for the 90s, these brothers act a little more like, well, brothers.
And hey, you may want to blow your nose,
Why?
just so you know your nose is running.
You know what? We had a wedge before, and see, now
Who cares about your hair?
Zach is definitely very crazy.
I could be the romantic one that would dedicate, like, songs to people.
I'm the quietest one. Obviously.
I'm definitely very goofy.
wouldn't it be cool if there was like this chick on stage? I tried to, yeah.
I'm goofy, stupid. He's goofy, funny.
No, I'm goofy stupid. You're more goofy funny.
I don't know. No, I try to not do that.
We're both goofy and we're both stupid. And
Okay.
it's funny.
Yeah, no, that's...
A guy, girl who need homes, and they're here from the Lower Valley Humane Society down in Brownsville. Thanks you guys for coming and bringing them. Tell me who you have with you today.
That's JP, and this is Little One.
JP is this one, and this is Little One. Boy, and Little One's a girl, although she has a little blue scarf on today. And you guys have a lot coming up this weekend. You want to tell me about that?
We're going to be having a dog wash at Sam's Wholesale Parking Lot tomorrow from 10 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. And there'll be students from Hannah High School, ROTC, washing the animals. And we're also going to be having a discounted animal vaccination clinic.
Which is great.
Dr. Gary Crouch from the Animal Medical Clinic is going to be doing regular rabies and tags for the city at $10.
$10, and then a dog combo including all their shots that they need right now for $32 and $20 for cats. That's great. Very good. Thanks for being with us so much. The telephone number is down on the screen, and both of these little guys need homes, and we hope that they find them. Thanks very much for coming today, and we hope that you give them a call. We'll keep it right here because we have showbiz news coming up next.
Our music video producer.
Here, I don't know.
Tookie,
She has
I know you got smell sick.
I know. Chimp
Good,
smell.
that's a boy. Very good. You lie down. Good, on your side. Good. Go straighten up. Head down. Crawl. Crawl. Good. On your feet. Back up. Go with her. Go on. Good boy. Go with her. There, he has to meet everybody. There you go. Good job, Duke.
Isn't he so awesome?
There you go.
Very good. So you've been going around the country with him, right? For the, promoting the commercial.
Yeah, promoting the commercial. And also, actually, Nissan and the American Humane Association have come up with a brochure where we're giving people tips on traveling with their pets.
Because this summer will be a lot.
Right.
What are the tips?
Well, the one thing you want to make sure you do is keep your dog in a Sky Kennel or a Very Kennel. We put a seatbelt on, and I think by having your dog in a Sky Kennel or Very Kennel, if you're in an accident, your dog has some sort of protection. You also want to stop every few hours to make sure that your dog is in the bathroom. That stuff. And then you also want to check ahead for hotels and motels that allow pets bring plenty of bottled water, and don't feed your pet on the day that you travel.
That's right.
Very important.
We all know not to do
But
that.
what if you're taking the dog across country, like on an airplane?
On a jet.
And you
Well,
can't stop for every couple
Exactly.
hours.
Well, the first thing you want to do is make sure you call the airlines and let the airlines know that you have a pet traveling, because some jets only take a certain amount of pets. Make sure you book a nonstop flight, and make sure you mark your kennel and have the address.
Is
your
it
address
really
and phone
safe?
number.
Do they handle the animals? I'm always afraid that if I took my dog with me, that she wouldn't
Yeah,
be
you've
alive
heard
when I
about
got back.
that.
I'll tell you, we fly a lot. Movie and TV animal trainers fly a lot, and I've never really had a problem, and it's all been
No.
it's all worked
Now,
out.
can you give your dog drugs?
Well, our suggestion anyway is just to transport your dog in a kennel. Do it naturally. If you have a question about anything involving giving drugs, my suggestion is you do talk to your veterinarian.
Talk to the vet, okay.
Thanks, Joel.
Absolutely.
Great. Okay. You're so good.
Thank you. When an animal turns against you, and how do you keep your kids safe? We're going to tell you about that next. Ooh, that was
Some men think strong opinions are a sign of PMS. Real PMS includes headaches, cramps, bloating, which make you feel miserable. But Midol PMS helps you feel like yourself again, opinions and all.
For PMS, nothing works better than Midol PMS.
If you buy the so-called value brand detergent, you're paying for 90% water. But Ultra Era is concentrated with 2 times the detergent, which means more tough stain-cutting power to help get your whole wash clean. What would you rather pay for? More water or more stain removal? Ultra Era, the power tool for stains.
Carrots plucked from the good earth, tomatoes ripe off the vine, cucumbers fresh from the garden, and for a salad this fresh, not a dressing that's been all bottled up. A salad this fresh needs good seasons, the Italian dressing you make yourself, a distinctive blend of nature's own herbs and spices, so it's moments fresh. Good Seasons Italian. You make it fresh.
Share a race car with my husband? Never. We don't even share shave cream. For me, it's Pure Silk. I love it. It moisturizes and makes my legs feel silky. Want a real experience? Then experience Pure Silk.
Excuse me, did you know that grass is a fat-free food? And so is Hershey's chocolate syrup. So it adds no fat to milk or ice cream. And it's always been that way.
Now he tells me.
For tough jobs you thought only a dishcloth could do, try new Bounty Rinse and Reuse. One sheet is so durable, it keeps working till the whole job's done. Rinse and Reuse has extra thick quilting for sponge-like durability. To rinse, wring, and reopen, unlike ordinary towels that wad up when wet. So rinse and reuse it till the job's done, then throw it away. The quilting quicker, bigger, upper. New Bounty Rinse and Reuse.
Dip the stick, pull the cord. Now let's mow the yard. Bubbles are a-blowing while you are a-mowing. Good times keep on going, going, going.
The new bubble mower from Fisher-Price.
On ABC's next classic episode of General Hospital, Scotty delivers Lucy's baby. This baby's coming here right now. No, hold it back, no. It's 1993, and Lucy was carrying Scotty and Dominique's baby. Snowbound in the cabin, Scotty had to deliver it. What a daytime to remember.
This is Paul Page. We're back live at Indianapolis. The rain delay continues, and it continues to pour steadily now at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We await the official decision on what they will do with the Indy 500. As yet, it is not forthcoming here at the Speedway.
Are you or one of your kids one of those 2 million Americans last year who were bitten by a dog? Well, our next guest has important safety tips, and we're going to keep you and your kids out of that emergency room from the Coalition for Safe Children and Dogs. Please welcome Dr. Fran Smith. Hi.
Hi, Dr. Smith. Thank you for having me. Okay, let's start with how can we show an animal that we're friendly. We were trying to do that earlier with the tiger, and
The
it
tiger
didn't
like
care.
that?
Yeah.
Well, the real trick is, and lots of people don't understand this, animals interpret our body language. The real reason people get bitten by dogs is that they don't understand dog behavior. and that the dogs aren't properly trained. So what I'm going to show you today is things to show your dog from the time it's young. The people at Pedigree have developed a whole program on safety with animals for children and for adults. And it starts with early handling. You want to start with gentle techniques, handling head, handling feet, handling mouth.
So they get real used to it.
All used to it. And that starts with a baby puppy. With bigger dogs, though, where you haven't had the opportunity to train and socialize, the approach needs to be extend your hand, don't threaten, let the dog greet you, and then touch it. Also, from a standpoint of a dog's behavior, it's much safer to handle them from underneath than on top.
But that's kind of putting your face near the problem.
Well, hand, not body. So extend
you
your
go like that,
hand,
but, yeah.
right, absolutely, and then let the dog approach you.
Okay, but what about, say I'm out running, which, you know, I don't do very often because you can tell by looking at it. But, and a dog chases you. Like, I'm actually sometimes afraid to go through certain neighborhoods because I know this one house, man, these two dogs come flying
out, absolutely.
What do you do in that case?
The right thing to do in a situation like that, stand absolutely still, look over the dog, not at the dog, and instead stand really, really still. When the dog settles down, quietly back away. Just like you heard about with the tiger or the lion.
And stay facing them? You
stay
still
facing them,
right.
Oh,
Okay.
see, there's where I was blowing it. Not in the spacing, but I did stand still when they come, but...
You turn it away?
Well, my body language goes, don't bite me.
Right, and then you're asking for it. The other thing is little dogs like this bite just as much.
Yeah,
absolutely.
they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got one running around here who likes to gnaw on people's
Is
legs.
that right? Absolutely. You want to be really careful with them. So it's a matter of interacting carefully. In the case of children, if they're chased by dogs, it's critical that they not squeal and that they not run. Squealing and running actually trigger bites.
Right.
So the color book that I...
And marine flags, flowers, and a small crowd, very solemn, all there to pay respects to a military hero, a four-legged hero from World War II. Okie was one special German Shepherd, the third most decorated military dog in U.S. history. He saved the lives of 150 Marines who were trapped behind Japanese lines in Okinawa. And on February 25th, 1958, Okie was buried with full military honors in Costa Mesa.
He said, "My story is my story, and I wish to remain anonymous."
Tracy Donovan was talking about a man named Robert Haar, Okie's military master in the Marine Corps in Okinawa. He agreed to only one newspaper interview some 16 years ago, but every year he visits the grave of Okie. The story goes that Haar and 149 other Marines were trapped behind enemy lines. He attached a note around Okie's collar and whispered to him, "Find Robert," the other handler. 7.5 miles and 3 hours later, Okie did just that, and the Marines were rescued. Okie had delivered the note despite being shot and having part of his jaw chopped off by a machete.
I guess in your husband's eyes, a four-legged Marine is a Marine nonetheless.
Exactly. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
8 years ago, Audrey Buck's husband, after hearing the story of Okie, started taking care of Okie's grave. It's the least he could do, he said, for a Marine who did so much for his country.
Dave Lopez for CBS News.
An amazing.
Yes, the many relationships in this life only you want to see it right. You go through us, pain and strife, and you turn it back. It's gone so fast. Oh yeah. It's gone too fast. Yeah, yeah. Oh, so on to
Rufus. This one is a, I'm not sure about that one. I think that one's very young, too.
Well, I used to have a black Labrador, and this is neat, yeah.
That one's a really clean.
And if people want to adopt these, what do they have to do?
They can call or go by the Lower Valley Humane Society on the North Expressway in Brownsville. And
that
we'd like...
number's on your screen.
Okay, and we'd also like to mention that tomorrow at 3 o'clock we're having an orientation meeting for the volunteers. So if anybody's interested out there to come on by.
It's tomorrow at 3.
Tomorrow at 3.
And the address again is?
1845 North Expressway.
Okay, super.
Thanks
Kay.
for coming on.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
And we're going to go back to Carrie, who is practicing her swing. There she is. Quality of...
Thanks, Tim. Here us now with today's pets of the week, and we have Sugar and Ginger. We got a bunch of spices and things. What kind of dog is she? This is Sugar, right?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what kind she is.
Okay.
I guess if you like her, you can call and ask for her, but she's just a mix. And this one down here, I'm not sure what she is, except she's a really nice-looking, clean dog.
Now, how old is this one down here? Do you know?
Well, I thought she was about a couple years old.
Okay. Okay, and how much does it cost if anyone wants to adopt them?
The dogs are $69 to have spay, to neuter them, and they have a bunch of shots that go with them and everything, and the cats are $51.50.
Okay, and where can they contact you?
They can come by the Lower Valley Humane Society on the Expressway in Brownsville.
Okay.
Or call.
And the telephone number is on your screen if you'd like to adopt one of these cute little doggies. If not, then just give them a call, and you have plenty of other cats and dogs.
Plenty of them. We have plenty of them. Okay. And we are also collecting aluminum cans, and we're also looking for volunteers.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for joining us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you bought a Honda Accord...
Of July, lots of sunshine and hot, with your high temperatures back into the 90s. That's it from out here. We'll be back at 6 o'clock with more from McAllen's 4th of July Fiesta.
All right, thanks, Jim. Well, it's one of the Valley's real treasures, one of the top zoos in the nation. We're talking about the Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville, the home of hundreds of different kinds of creatures. On today's edition of Zoo Tales, we're going to learn a little more about what it takes to satisfy the hunger of the zoo's residents. Here's Lisa Ayala.
For these white-handed gibbons and ring-tailed lemurs, there is no time like mealtime at Gladys Porter Zoo in Brownsville. Some animals, like this Simink, enjoy singing for their supper. Others, like the white-handed gibbon, like to eat and run, or should we say eat and swing. Still others, like the ring-tailed lemurs, prefer to eat quietly, being careful not to spill a drop. While it may seem easy enough to put together lunch for these zoo animals, it is actually a very carefully organized process. It all begins right here in the diet kitchen at Gladys Porter Zoo. Jesse Rodriguez has been preparing diets at the zoo for 20 years. Each morning he prepares 250 diets for the animals. Everything from lemurs to gibbons to flamingos are fed a very precise diet according to their nutritional needs. $175,000 is budgeted this year for animal nutrition. When all the food is ready to go, Keeper Freddie Reyna is just one of the many who make sure all the diets get to their hungry charges.
Interesting job. Every day is different, so it's pretty interesting.
All of the diets are carefully monitored and changed according to individual needs.
Just like humans, their dietary needs will change. He'll become, start getting too fat. You have to put them on a diet. For some reason, they're not utilizing the food properly. We have to recalculate what they're eating. We have to see what's wrong. Maybe we change their diet, get more calories into them.
A bulletin board in the diet kitchen lists all of the different fruits and vegetables needed for the different animals. The main goal of the diet kitchen staff is to ensure the food the animals eat is fresh and clean. Since conservation is key, nothing is wasted. The food that is not fit to eat goes into a compost container on zoo grounds. However, as you can see, with our zoo animals, very little food goes to waste. The next time you're strolling the zoo grounds and you run across an animal happily munching on its favorite foods, remember the team of dietitians and keepers working hard behind the scenes to make it happen. With Gladys Porter Zoo, Lisa Ayala for Channel 5 Eyewitness News.
Very interesting. And all the way from Brownsville now, William joins us from the Lower Valley Humane Society. Who have you got with you today, William?
Celine.
Celine is our pet of the week, and Celine...
She's about 3 months old.
Celine needs a new home.
3 months old. And is Celine house trained?
I'm not sure about that.
We're working
I guess
on that.
you'll find out, though.
William, tell people what they need to do if they're interested in adopting Celine or one of the many other animals that you all have at the Lower Valley Humane Society.
Go by the Lower Valley Humane Society, located next to Howard Johnson.
Okay. And we've got a phone number up on the screen if people are interested in Celine or any one of the other animals. 544-0414 is the number to call. And there is a fee that people will pay.
For dogs, it's $69, and for cats, it's $51.50.
That includes spaying and neutering and all the shots and everything, so all the things that you would normally need to get for
neat homes.
Yeah, and our other cute little guy, Tim Smith, is here too. He has a home.
Today it's going to be hot again with your high
news. We have our pet of the week inside the studio with us. This is Pumpkin over here with me, and Pumpkin is a Shepherd and Collie mix, and William has Cappuccino. And we think the Cappuccino might be a Catahoula cow dog. You think that's right? Tell me a little bit about each one of these.
Cappuccino's a puppy still.
Uh-huh.
And
How big is he supposed to get?
not very tall.
Not too tall, because his paws aren't too big. And this one right here, they're such good dogs. They've been sitting here so patiently
He's a
waiting.
collie mix.
Uh-huh.
And he's
How
gonna
long have you had him here?
a few days or
Just a few days to the shelter? Well, both of these great puppies are available for adoption at the Lower Valley Humane Society. That's right off the expressway in Brownsville. And also this weekend, you have something special coming up at the Lower Valley Humane Society. We have a vaccination clinic this Saturday from 10 in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, it's right off of Expressway 77. It's in the Sanborn Travel Building. So it's right, you may not think that the shelter is there. He's going to hide behind me. But it is there, and it's a great opportunity for you to take your pets and have them vaccinated. A dog combo, that's with the distemper and parvo and everything, $15. A rabies for dog or cat is $10. You also have a cat combo and deworming also. It's just a lot more inexpensive, and a chance for you to check out all the animals that are there and up for adoption. It's the Lower Valley Humane Society in Brownsville. Thanks for bringing them by.
girls need a home.
Yeah, they sure do. And you're going to want to stay tuned for today's edition of Did You Hear? Home Improvement star Tim Allen. He says it's time to start talking some serious money. We're going to tell you more about that.
He's not making enough. And Tejano Group La Mafia is sharing a little something with the Hard Rock Cafe. Sunny and hot. Okay, I'm not guessing the Pilgrims, Tim.
Eyewitness News. I think this one is a little spooked by the gorillas. I think she saw them on there. And at least the gorillas have the right idea about keeping cool. We're joined by our pets of the week and our friends from the Lower Valley Humane Society down in Brownsville. And Gail, who did you bring with you today?
We bought Sugar, and she's just a mama cat. And we also have another little female over there. We call her, Willie calls her Cane. And Sugar and Cane. Sugar and Cane, right. She's not very settled after that man walked by. But anyway, these two need a home, and that's a young cat over there, and this one here, of course, is an older cat.
She's having fun. She was, but she got a little bit spooked just now because one of our people came out on the terrace and walked right past us, and she got a little bit spooked. But you guys also want to tell us about a cut-a-thon coming up, which is actually for human haircuts, not grooming.
Right.
And that's going to come up in the future.
Yes, it's going to come up in the future, and Great Expectations at the mall. Sunrise Mall in Brownsville is going to let us have one there. And we're also going to be having another dog wash, but I don't have the dates on it yet.
But you'll be back in 2 weeks, and we'll show them to you there. And this is Cane, and this is Sugar, and the phone number was there, and they need homes, and we sure hope that they find them. We're going to have the lowdown on what's happening around Hollywood coming up next. Christy Brinkley is taking on the tabloids, and she's after millions. More on that when First at 5 continues.
Do you remember that chartreuse Christian Dior gown?